Kraven the Hunter is here in Magic the Gathering. That is a sentence I never thought I'd say, but nonetheless, I had an absolute blast making this Kraven fight deck. It has easily become one of my favorite decks to play at my LGS, and everyone I've versed with it has had an absolute blast just seeing how ridiculously big this guy can get, and I can't wait to share this deck tech with you guys. So, I'm Low Bracket Captain, and here is my Kraven the Hunter fight deck tech. Let's take a look at Kraven and see what he actually does. He is a 1 black-green legendary human warrior villain. He's a 4/3 with trample, and this is his ability. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with the greatest power among creatures that player controls dies, draw a card and put a 1/1 counter on Kraven the Hunter. So essentially, if opponent controls a big creature and it dies, and it's the biggest that they have, Kraven is going to get a 1/1 and draw a card. Kraven can get very big very fast if people really underestimate him, and that is the best part about this deck. But how are we going to get him big? Well, number one, we're going to equip him with a bunch of standard artifacts like Swiftfoot Boots and Lightning Greaves, which are going to keep him protected. Then we're going to start swinging and use a buttload of fight spells. There is so many fight spells in this deck, it is kind of ridiculous. I don't really have many removal spells, it's pretty much all fight spells, so get ready to beat up some creatures. And yeah, he gets big from beating up creatures, and then he swings and kills people. So, let's talk about some of the key cards of the deck, starting with the creatures. There are not many creatures in this deck, but there are a few really important ones, like Ulvenwald Tracker, which lets you pay 1 a green and tap it to make a target creature you control fight another target creature. This means that you don't need to have a buttload of fight spells in your hand, and once a turn, you're going to be able to beat up something, get Kraven pretty big, and he'll just be able to keep swinging. This is a really nice card to get in your first hand. Rayhan, Last of the Abzan, is an incredible card for the deck. Whenever a creature you control dies or is put into the command zone, if it had 1 or more 1/1 counters on it, you may put that many 1/1 counters on target creature. So if Kraven's getting exiled and he's getting hard targeted, well, if Rayhan's on the field, they can inherit all of Kraven's counters, and then you can swing and keep beating people up and applying pressure. This is a great card to have in the deck. There is a really cheeky combo with Chevill, Bane of Monsters, and Bounty Hunter, also both just amazing cards that are thematic in the deck. Chevill can let you put a bounty counter on a creature or planeswalker if there's none on the field, and then whenever a permanent controls with the bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and you draw a card. And Bounty Hunter can tap itself to destroy a creature with a bounty counter on it, or put a bounty counter on a creature. So if you have Chevill, Kraven, and Bounty Hunter on the field, you can put extra bounty counters, Kraven can fight them, and you can get even more card draw, and you can be gaining life. Now, talking about creatures, we're going to deviate to Planeswalkers, and with this being a Hunter deck, who else could I include but Garruk? I've got 2 Garruk Planeswalker cards in here, that being Garruk Curse Huntsman and Garruk Apex Predator. Garruk Curse Huntsman allows us to create 2 2/2 black and green wolf creature tokens with, when this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garruk you control. You can -3 to destroy a creature and draw a card, and with -6 you can get an emblem that gives all your creatures 3/3 and trample, which is pretty game-ending. Garruk Apex Predator is a lot more expensive at 5 and a black and a green, but he can destroy another planeswalker, he can create 3/3 black beast creature tokens with Death Touch, you can also make him destroy a creature and you can gain life equal to its toughness, and his bottom ability is an incredibly target opponent gets an emblem with whenever a creature attacks you, it gets +5/+5 and gains trample until end of turn. If they leave this guy on the field and there's someone that's being a menace to everyone, you can pop this down and they will die very, very fast. These are awesome cards for the deck, and if you manage to get either of the ultimates down, you're pretty much going to be winning. Now, on to the fight spells. There is so many fight spells in this deck, and there's not really a reason for me to go through every single one. They all just pretty much let you fight target creature, but there is a couple that I do want to highlight, that being Contest of Claws and Hunter's Insight. Contest of Claws lets a target creature you control deal damage equal to its power to another creature. If excess damage was dealt, you discover X, where X is the excess damage. I had a game before where I was fighting the Ur-Dragon, Kraven was 18, and because Ur-Dragon's got 10 health, I got to discover 8. It gets crazy, I'm telling you. This is a very good card to play mid-game when you just need something big to plonk onto the field. And Hunter's Insight, of course, it has the Kraven art, so it had to be included. Choose target creature you control. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, you draw that many cards. You're really not lack on cards in this deck, but this can still help, especially if you've got a Reliquary Tower. Now, the 2 nastiest spells I'd probably say that are in the deck is Flare of Malice and Gix's Command. They both do something similar, and since they target everyone on the field except you, Kraven can get 6 counters in a single turn. Let's look at Flare of Malice first. It's a 2 and 2 black instant. You may sacrifice a non-token black creature rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. So this is going to do one of two things. Either it's going to get rid of a key piece because the mana cost a lot, or it's going to go get rid of a big creature and Kraven's going to get counters. Either way, it is a win-win for you. Gix's Command is a 3 and 2 black sorcery where you can choose 2 abilities, but you only really need to concern yourself with the top and bottom ability. The top one lets you put 2 1/1 counters on up to 1 creature, giving it lifelink to end of turn, and the bottom ability, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures they control. So you can instantly get 5 counters from this single card alone, and if you've got any counter doubling cards, that can be 10. So there are a few counter doubling cards, but let's just highlight a couple which you probably have already guessed. We've got Branching Evolution, which if there's 1 or more 1/1 counters we put on a creature, you put double. This is a great card if you get this early, and then you play Kraven, and then you play Gix's Command. Well, Kraven's going to be an instant menace. I've killed people in literally 3 or 4 turns just from having Branching Evolution out. And of course, Hardened Scales, which is a really nice card and it's going to give him an extra counter. So if you have a bunch of these on the field, Kraven's going to get big even if he keeps getting sent back to the command zone. He'll come back, you'll play single fight spell, and boom, he's big already. Now, talking about lands, just put a bunch of dual lands in there and some forests and swamps, but there are a couple of key ones that you really want in the deck. Of course, Reliquary Tower, because you're going to be doing a lot of card draw, but you really want Arcane Lighthouse. Arcane Lighthouse is going to be really important because you can pay 1, tap it, and make all creatures your opponents control lose Hexproof and Shroud, and they can't have it, so that's going to be able to let you fight any creature you want. And Arena is going to let you pay 3, tap it, tap a creature you control, and then your opponent has to choose a creature and they fight. This is a bit of a slower one, but if you've got a personal vendetta against someone on the field and they've got 1 creature out, well, you could just do this. With all of these cards combined, Kraven can become so big so fast. He's got a buttload of protection in the deck as well, and he's got some themed artifact like Hunter's Bow and Hunter's Blowgun to just add to the flavor of the deck. This deck is genuinely really fun. I'm not super big on Voltron commanders, but Kraven is such a blast to play, just taking out everyone's big creature and watching them be like, okay, we need to team up and beat up Kraven. He genuinely becomes the villain of the table. I hope you guys enjoyed this cheeky Kraven fight deck tech. If you have any questions or you have any suggestions for the deck, please let me know. I have been Low Bracket Captain, and I will see you next time.